Okay, to confirm I'm actually recording. I haven't done a tester of this, by the way. I hope this is going to record your voice.
Oh
Anyway,
shit.
all right. Well, welcome back to the Counter-Strike Casuals podcast. Episode 15. We're up to 15. Let's go.
Right.
All right,
Go
let's
on.
go.
You're ranting about teams. So I said, right, let's just start recording because you were kicking off big time.
I was kicking off big time. I was kicking off because we've been watching Cologne this week. Cologne? Cologne?
Clone.
Cologne. Cologne. How do you pronounce it? I don't know. All I know is you've got a mug, I've got beer.
Yeah, I am a mug.
We're watching Cologne this week. Everyone's getting excited. Everyone's getting excited about the Mongols. Everyone's getting excited about Fnatic. You're excited about Fnatic. You might even have bought Fnatic merchandise. That's how much you love Fnatic. Everyone's excited about Mouse. And guess what? None of them are that good. It's all overhyped. And the teams that are all top 5... Oh, I'm going to rephrase that because that included FaZe. The teams that are top 3 or 4 are performing as they should. And there's no surprises. So everyone needs to wind their necks in. Let's start from the start, shall we? Let's not get ahead of ourselves because I've had a beer. Cologne started this week properly. Started Saturday. We're recording this Monday. We watched the last podcast we had. We were talking about the play-ins, or we were leading into the play-ins, or who was performing in the play-ins. I can't remember. Liquid, I hyped up, thought they were going to do really well. They didn't qualify. Furia, with their new look squad, hit the ground running, I think, didn't qualify. Apex looked quite strong in the play-ins, didn't qualify. So they're 3 teams that everyone was getting a bit hyped about that already didn't qualify. Cologne, we're here now. There's already some teams that are out. The Mongols are out and 9 are out. No surprises with 9, I don't think. But the Mongols started their campaign against Heroic. Yeah? So the Mongols started their week, their IEM Cologne run against Heroic. They pushed Heroic to 3 maps. Those of all 3 maps were close, granted, but Heroic still won. Okay, so and look, all I'm going to say is during that game, the Mongols were doing some weird shit. Like they were pushing at. Granted, I didn't watch the game, but I read a lot about the comments and all the people talking about it. From what I understand, they were pushing mad smokes. They were like proper playing, disrespectful is what someone said that Katie had said, which even that is just a load of bollocks. I mean, disrespectful Counter-Strike. What does that even mean? Just running around with your dick out.
I watched it, but I didn't read. Yeah, I didn't read all these. Maybe he was taking the piss when he meant that disrespectful remark after what he shouted. But no, when I watched it, it was such a good match. They were proper hyped, or Heroic were. They were shouting a lot, but it was so much closer than I would have expected. I mean, I put Stown in my fantasy team and I put him on a boost because I thought they're just going to whitewash him. But they didn't. They struggled. But it was a sick game. I proper enjoyed it. The Mongols were doing weird stuff, and I think that's why they did so well. And it's like Thomas mentioned during the major, we're not as good as these teams, so we need to do some weird stuff. And it's true. If you just play normal Counter-Strike, you're not going to beat Heroic.
No,
They were pushing smokes all the time. It was crazy, but it was paying off for them. And Heroic can't complain about that. Like, if you're going to let teams push through smokes and not punish them, then that's your fault.
it's funny when I try and push through smokes and pugs, I just get annihilated and moaned at by my teammates. Even though I'm trying to play we're shit card, so we should be pushing smokes. But
so you're saying Heroic still look like Heroic?
I'm saying overall they do. Just before we progress on the Mongols game as well, there was loads of drama about KD and shouting "you fucking noobs" and call it, mate. This is what is wrong with not Counter-Strike fans, but the internet. That is bizarre that people are like caring about that. This is why Counter-Strike is actually quite fun to watch when the teams get like proper animated, or
it's so good.
When the vocal players on the teams get trash talking or trolling or whatever. Man, mate. If we have to deal with this in Face It and matchmaking, you get called trash off like the second round. You lose the second pistol round on like T, and the other team on like Face It or whatever starts calling. They're like, "This is Blue's a noob, but it's you," and you're like, "Oh
You're a
fuck."
bot. Yeah, you're a bot. But the thing is, I was thinking about this before because I'm the same as you. I think it's ridiculous. I've not really seen anyone, to be honest, say that they don't like it. Most people are saying that they like it.
Yeah, but
I guess
no, because we
some
worked
people
out
would.
we worked out this week you're not on Twitter and you're not on Reddit.
Yeah. Well, I went on and I looked and I didn't see any negative comments about Cadian anyway. But I didn't look very
No,
hard.
there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot.
So I was thinking about it. So I like it. I think it's good. I like the trash talking. It's funny and it brings a bit more entertainment to it. But if this happened in any other sport, like a real sport, you'd say, oh, you can't do that. In a football game, if Ronaldo started saying, oh, you fucking shit cunts, everyone would be like, oh, that's out of order, it's not professional, blah, blah, blah. Same with most other sports. Why is it different with CS?
Well, if I would be here for footballers if they were saying that. They're so boring at the end of their... Mate, Roy Keane used to be a legend for that. I used to love Roy Keane when he used to just like pop off on people during... I mean, he used to actually talk physically, kick the shit out of them, like nearly injure them and ruin their careers. So I'm not...
The only other sport I can kind of think
Boxing.
it's... Yeah, boxing, maybe they do it a little bit.
And people love it in boxing. In esports, let's not just put CS in this bracket, the generalized view and the general population of people that are professional gamers are quiet and not timid, but just quiet. They're not going to be going up to a mic and being too animated. So I think that we need people like this to keep it interesting.
Why do you think people don't like it if footballers do it?
Why footballers do it?
Yeah. People wouldn't like it, would they?
Yeah, no, but I can't. Well, Jose Mourinho does it, doesn't he? And he gets loads of flack for it when he.
I don't think ever after a game he's gone, oh, they're fucking shit.
He has said about referees, though, hasn't he? And stuff. Yeah. And he's got in trouble for that.
But we're talking about other teams. So if during the game he was beating someone 5-0 and he just started shouting onto the pitch, "You're all fucking shit. You fucking shit."
I feel like
and let's say they were like a bad team.
Well, if Jose Mourinho did it, people would probably spell, "Oh, it's Jose."
People don't like it, and people would kick off. Why? Because it's disrespectful. Yeah, and they would say, "Oh, it's not a good example."
Listen, I can't. I don't know exactly at what point Cadian did this in the game, but if he did it at a pivotal turning point where, like, I don't know, on the deciding map, and he got in their heads, fair play, man.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's what Huxley did today with FaZe, to be honest.
Oh.
But we'll get onto that. Okay, so we've done one result up to now.
Right, yeah, we've spent 8 minutes talking about Heroic, and rightfully so. Do you know what? The more I do this podcast, the more I am becoming Heroic fanboy. I feel like you were always the Heroic fanboy, and also because of Cadian and because he is now becoming such a polarizing. But the thing is, right, simple. Yeah. Oh, he's so good. Oh my god, simple. Or the guy is just a negative, crabby prick. If he was there doing all this mad shit and he's just like giving it the big and like Cadian, making it the simple show rather than just being moody, I'd rate him. I'd actually be like, do you know what? I'm into this. I like this. But Cadian's like, big man on campus. He still tops the fucking player ratings near enough every not that many games where he doesn't end up at the top or near the top. Right, Mongols top across the series, 1.21 rating. Monty second, 1.15 rating. So the guy puts his money where his mouth is. He carries his team to victory. Number one seeded team mode. Yes, they don't win enough tournaments. Mate, I reckon it's going to change. I reckon Heroic, the rest of this year, are going to win more tournaments than anyone else.
Right, okay. You're on one tonight. I think, just at a glance, like an overall glance, I know we've done one result, but Heroic and Vitality just look head and shoulders above everyone. I do think a lot of teams have improved quite a lot, but Heroic and Vitality are still head and shoulders above the rest of them.
Yeah, and I think Vitality actually had the biggest test as well when they came against Mouse, because Mouse, from one of the teams that have made the most, not the most change, when the team that's changed their roster, they look the most exciting. I think it feels like everyone's quite excited about Mouse, or other than like Cloud9, like they seem like the up and coming young blood. They're so young. Did you say they're the youngest team?
The average age is the youngest. They've got one guy who's 16.
So they're exciting in that sense. I think 3 or 4 of the 5 originated from the academy team from Next as well. So I think Vitality beating Mouse was quite a big statement as well, just to be like, yeah, look, young bloods, you know, you got a lot to learn, right? Cyber posted like nearly 1.7 rating in that game as well. He just destroyed them. So, you know, and Mouse beat Navi before that. Who else did Mouse? Yeah, Mouse beat Navi, and then they lost to Vitality. Okay, so you know, I think that was the biggest test, but Vitality's still just storming that 2-0 and looking really comfortable. Like, Mouse got trounced, like, really bad. Yeah, it just shows why Vitality are
Yeah,
still...
Mouse are playing Astralis tomorrow, so that should be a good game.
Mm.
Astralis as well, they're looking good.
Well, yeah.
I mean for Astralis, whenever you hear me say tonight that a team are looking good, I mean than their recent performance, they're looking good.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not talking about old Astralis. So, like Astralis, like based on their recent form, are doing really well. The series that I watched was it them versus Nip? I think it was them versus Nip. That was such a good series, and it just shows like how much they've improved. No, actually, it was. Did they play G2?
Who?
Yeah, they
Strauss.
played.
Yeah, they lost to G2.
They lost against G2, but it was such a good game. That
So
was probably
2-1
like,
as well, so went 3 maps.
yeah, it was probably my most entertaining game that I've watched during this what do you call it? Playing? Not playing.
No, this is the actual Cologne. This is
The
the
group
group stages,
yeah.
yeah.
It was
Oh.
sick. The device was giving them shit, was shouting over, and it was just
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I heard that. Yeah, and Monacy was giving it back, right?
yeah. Monacy got that ace, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was sick.
And then yeah, he waved back because device was giving him a bit of shit, so he waved back, and I think it was all in good spirit as well. Both teams like they were giving each other shit, but it wasn't. They weren't angry about it, you know. They were all having a laugh.
Yeah. All right. Well, while we're on the topic of it, G2. I mean, just at Blast, was it Blast? I can't even keep up. Again, my casual brain is struggling. We were talking about G2 being a massive disappointment, and everyone's upset at G2 and Hooksy again. They're through to the playoff, the next stage. They comfortably they beat Astralis, didn't they? 2-1. They dicked on FaZe today, so that's brilliant. You know, maybe that's why I'm in a bad mood, guys. What was it, 2-0 on Inferno? FaZe got 4 outs.
They battered them. But these are the two teams, like it's like team inconsistent against team inconsistent.
Yeah, they are. Those two are the teams.
FaZe have got to be the king of it though, because if every single player on FaZe was on their best game, they would be the best team, arguably the best team in the world.
Everyone, they beat everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be ridiculous. But they're all inconsistent. Like pretty much every single one of their players is inconsistent.
Carrigan's pretty consistent. Carrigan's, although he's been posting up those good results in Blast, but again, the thing is, I keep thinking back to Blast, but all the narrative around Blast has been how it genuinely was a boot camp for everyone. So, I mean, it meant nothing.
Players always say that. I mean, everyone wanted to do well. Like you saw how aggy some teams got when they were losing. Like you could see it in the faces. Like G2 when they lost, they didn't look happy. Navi was the same.
It was just Simple.
Yeah.
Simple's angry when he gets told that he's the best. Well, tomorrow it is going to be FaZe Navi, 11:30. So,
Right. Well,
again,
so
a prime time to be watching some sport.
so FaZe are looking. Would you say looking the same?
What are you doing tomorrow at 11:30, Tuesday, really?
11:30 on a Tuesday. I'll be working. Yeah,
Anyway,
like
moving
everyone
on.
else.
Yeah. Sorry. I apologise to everyone for my neggy attitude.
No, I think it makes for good listening.
Okay, cool. Gonna carry on then. Sorry, I interrupted you then. What did you say? Okay, right. So, go
We've
on.
done heroic.
Yeah.
FaZe pretty much the same. We don't really need to go into them
Phase
unless you
is
want to
up,
talk about them.
no, up and down. I hope that I think they've got to beat Navi tomorrow to go through. Be fucking shocking and real sad if they don't make it through to the arena because it's FaZe, and I think they deserve it more than Navi. So fucking beat Navi.
Yeah, I think on the spotlight, they're a good team to have on the stage just because they're player names basically, and we know that they can perform on the night. We never know, but if they have a bad game and they play in Vitality or Heroic or something, they'll just get smashed. But yeah, so we've done them. We've done Mouse. We kind of touched on G2. G2 are basically looking the same. Huxley had an absolute blinder against FaZe, and he was giving them so much shit. He was shouting a lot. He was directing a lot at Carrigan as well, which was quite funny.
All right.
So yeah, it just made me laugh. Like Huxley's getting a bit vocal now. He's getting some kills behind him.
Well, it's still bottom of his team, but yeah, what up?
Yeah. So okay, we've done them. Cloud9, this new roster that's supposed to be lighting the world on fire. Do you think they're living up to the expectations?
No, because they don't have their full roster and they've got shitty Buster back. So I mean, they can't because they've got Buster. So
Okay,
they haven't got their full team. I think it is what it is. I don't know.
I watched the
it's
Fnatic
disappointing. It's really
Cloud9
disappointing
game.
that we can't see them.
Yeah,
Was
I
it
mean when you
Axar? It's not there. Yeah, so
yeah you told me that they Axel couldn't go over because of his visa issues. I was a bit gutted because I really wanted to see them. But they played Cloud9. No, sorry, Fnatic played Cloud9.
yeah. And Perfecto's been looking good. Perfecto's been performing well.
Yeah, they seem like they're laughing and joking. Like it was so weird watching them talking to each other, and they were all kind of like, yeah, just having a good time, joking around, like chatting to each other, like looked like they were mates and they were having fun. Like I don't think Electronic and Perfecto looked like that when they were playing for Navi.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm just giving you more material to bitch about, simple, but yeah, and I think it was that game was a really good opener for both teams. I think both teams played well. Fnatic won. Afro for playing for Fnatic, so he's just come over and he's playing really well at the minute. He's come over from LDLC, if you've ever heard of him.
The French guys, yeah.
So
I haven't heard of them other than I recognise
I
their
think Fnatic are looking well,
Frenchness.
and I know you're saying, oh well, they're fucking losing to Gamer Legion. They've actually won the first map against Gamer Legion, and they've now pulled it back. It's 11-15.
I'm not
So
saying they're looking bad. I just think don't. I think you're liable to get excited by Fnatic because you like Fnatic.
like I said, this is relative to the recent form. I wasn't expecting anything when they brought Afro over. I was like, who's this tier 2 player? Like, didn't really care much about it. Dexter didn't think he was going to set the world on fire, to be honest. But I really like the way they're playing. I think Dexter's doing some good stuff. Mezzi's playing well, and Afro's sick. I keep looking away from
Yeah, because you're watching it.
because I'm watching it. He's 22 for 14 at the minute.
I think it feels like to me Fnatic is a minor upgrade from where they were before. I don't think it's anything exciting though, but
I think it is exciting for them because they're improving, and that's all you can ask, really, isn't it? You want to improve. They've not changed the roster massively, so they're not going to be like, oh, they're one of the top 3 teams in the world. No one expected that, but they've definitely improved, and they can definitely get through this group stage.
fine.
I know they lost against Ents, but Ents are sick.
Yeah,
Like, did they
Ents
win
really are.
Palace?
Yeah, Ents really are, and I think Ents probably takes FaZe's spot in the
And they
in
were,
the top
yeah.
three. It probably now goes Heroic, Vitality, Ents, really, but anyway. But let's not move on from Cloud9 because just back to Cloud9 and why we shouldn't really even actually spend this much time talking about them. Buster did not post over a 0.9 rating in the 3 matches they've had so far, so it's just, you know, a load of shit. So we can't judge them yet, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so Cloud9, how have they got on? They lost 2-1 against Fnatic. They then beat 9-2-1, which is not a bad result. Then they beat Mons 2-0.
Yeah.
And then they're going to play either
The winner
Fnatic
of
or Game
Fnatic,
Legion.
Game
Yeah.
Legion.
So I don't think it's a bad start. Like, considering they're a new roster, they've not got Axile. I am still excited to see the full team together.
Do you know who's actually shocked me at why they've not posted some better results? Is actually Ninjas in Pajamas, because I think after their little play-in run to get to this spot, I had high hopes for them, like quietly confident for them, but they lost to FaZe 2-1, no biggie there. Then they lost to Astralis, and now they're out.
Yeah.
it's like crashed and burned.
Yeah. No, I agree. I kind of expected a bit more from them. They're looking better as well.
They are looking better.
That's what I mean. So many teams have improved, and you just mentioned one, Astralis.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of talk about Blameth not doing it as in-game leader. I mean, he's been playing well individually, but I saw a comment earlier on, I think it was the Reliable HLTV forums, where someone was like, oh, Blameth just sent Borup down to tunnels to get the AWP when Blameth was already there. Like, he was at tunnels, went to a different part of tunnels, but sent Borup to get an AWP at the end of the round, like just getting his minions to run like, and everyone was like, yeah, that's why he's called Bait F, like, so he didn't want to die. Do you know what I mean? But I still think Buzz is the problem.
I don't know about that, because I know everyone says he's a beta and stuff, but last episode we spoke about them and we were like, did they look any better? And I said, no, they don't look any better, they look the same. Well, I'm going to eat my words, because I do think they are looking better now. At Blast tournament, I don't think anyone could say that. But right now, I do think they are. They lost 2-1 against G2, and I know we've just been slagging G2 off, but you know, they beat Liquid, they beat Apex, both good results. Then they beat NiP 2-0. So I think they're playing pretty well. Do you not? Blame F was also top rated player against NiP.
Let's see. I still think all these changes are so early to be making too many calls on. That's the problem here. I mean, all this is just mental, right? This is actually the first proper tournament, so it's all a bit weird. I think we need to get this done. A couple more tournaments, and you start to realise who's really pushing and pulling.
Yeah, and like I say, none of these teams, like Heroic and Vitality, are still head and shoulders above everyone else.
Does feel it, yeah.
But a lot of teams have improved.
All right. Well, who's going to win Cologne then? You can have two. Who's going to be in the final and who's going to win? Well, no, let's not do final then. Let's do who do you think is two teams that are most likely to win then? We'll do two teams. Doesn't need to be in the final.
I mean, Vitality, I can't see them losing at the minute.
Really?
But who've they played? OG, Mouse.
The Mouse is a big win, I think. I do. I think they would be worried about that and ended up just fucking demolishing them.
Yeah, well...
OG put up a better fight than Mouse, and OG is shocking.
Yeah, I think Vitality took Mouse quite serious. I can't see Vitality losing. I think they'll make it through to the final. I don't know if Heroic are gonna trip up or not.
I'm gonna go Heroic G2.
Really?
Yeah, both look. Heroic just looked consistent. I think they had a little wobble with the Mongols, but they'll pull themselves together. and they'll go to the final. And I think G2 actually just, I think G2 might be feeding a bit off everyone saying G2 is shit, and they're just like, fuck
What
it.
about Vitality then? So you think
I
Vitality might lose to G2 tomorrow?
Yeah, I think they might do. Oh, I don't know if the people that lose, because they're already through to the thing, I think it's just where they get placed in the brackets.
Okay, yeah.
So I think they still go through to the single elimination. But again,
still,
we don't know, because the way these competitions are laid out is like fucking solving like nuclear equations.
Yeah, they are a bit silly. On Vitality's recent form, I can't see them losing. They just seem too dangerous. Like
Well, those are my picks. Heroic G2, let's go.
I mean, you look at
also, we've given no airtime to the fact that the first 2 days, didn't I call out every match? I got like an eight game accumulator. I won 25-1.
Oh, it seems like ages ago. So that was.
I mean, that was.
That must after the last podcast. I thought it was before that. So yeah, you were doing well.
And then I cashed out on one as well when it was like 6 games and I got 4 right, and I did it the right time. I took my winning streak and ended it quickly because I was like, oh my god, this is too good to be true. So I need to get back on the horse. But maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Anyway, sorry, sidetracked about that.
But yeah, Vitality, they've.
So I'm going Heroic G2. You're going Vitality and.
Hence.
Okay. I'm making a note of this. Hang on. Diz, sorry if you can hear this. Heroic and G2. Brly, Ents, and Vitality.
I want to say. No, I'm not going to say it.
Oh, I can't type all of a sudden. Where's the. What? Go on, say it.
No, I was going to say, oh, my boys might be there, but I'm not going to mention it. If I do, I'll jinx it.
You're going to say Fnatic?
So, what are you laughing at?
Oh, God. We need to get clear who you support. I'm quite clear.
Who do you support?
I'm quite clear who I support. FaZe.
Who's that? You've got a Heroic top as well.
Yeah, but that was situational. Although I am becoming. I made it very clear when we went to Copenhagen how frustrated I was. There was no FaZe merchandise. But I am also becoming more of a Heroic fanboy, to be fair. Maybe it is the fact they've got a Heroic jersey. Also, I kind of just like the fact that they're pricks, or Cadian is, and also that like people still hate him for the cheating scandal. I'm just like, do you know what? Yeah, fuck it. He's a good villain. He's a better villain than Simple. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he is. You always say this. He doesn't seem like a bad guy. I think everyone likes him.
Mate, it's Brly. Am I now speaking to the rest of our viewership? Listen to you. 10 to 12 people that seem to watch it enough times to get 30 views. Go online and check Cadian hate. Mate, the scene. Well, I think they're coming round to it less, but I'm going to have to send you some links after this. Anyway, we'll take this offline. Okay.
I like him anyway. He always he's too emotional, man. He cries too often to be like a villain.
Good. Right. Cologne. Have we summarised the first few days? Shall we move on to something a bit different?
Yeah, I think can close the book on Cologne for now. So
we've still got 2 more places to fill who are going to qualify, which is going to play out in the next few days. But anyway, that's fine. Let's move on. Smooya, the UK's answer to. I don't know.
No, he's not. He's just Smooya. Everybody knows who Smooya is.
Yeah, but
he is Smooya.
I feel like people don't like Smooya as well.
Yeah, I think.
Or was it just me? So.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. He's probably quite easy to dislike.
I thought, why did he quit CS? Why did he leave CS? Because I thought he was playing well.
Is he? He's still playing CS.
Yeah, but he was a pro. Why is he not a pro anymore?
How old is he?
Mate, you can't say he's still playing this. He's winning at Epic LAN. It's like a
He was,
LAN
he was
in
there though, wasn't he?
Wolverhampton.
He's only 23. Maybe he's just not that good anymore. Or maybe, isn't he ranked quite high? He just wants to keep his rank there.
I thought he just got a bit fed up. I don't know. Can we ask him? Can anyone ask him? I'm going to at him after
He
this.
might be at Insomnia. We'll ask him when we go.
Okay, fine. All we should do, actual research. All we should know. But anyway. So, Epic LAN, which was a LAN in Wolverhampton, he won with the team, didn't he? That was quite interesting, I thought. And he got MVP.
Yeah, did you look at any of the results or anything? Like the scores?
No, but they had they had some pro players. No, what was the scores? Have you looked at it?
No, I have no idea.
Oh god. Anyway, anyway, that's what happens.
So you're gonna bring that up. Who's your favourite British player?
My favourite British player, Cypher.
What is Cypher doing with his life these days?
Is he not a TSM?
Well, I keep telling you he's at TSM, and you keep saying that. Oh, it's not official.
I thought he did get made official.
Mate, we literally had this conversation on the last one, but it was the other way around.
Hang on. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Are you gonna find out?
At this point, I feel like we might as well just play some games on our own. It's not official on HLTV. Anyway, so you can't go to a major and take your equipment in a Tesco bag and not be the most goated UK CS player of all time, no?
If Messi didn't exist, then
Messi.
Messi. That's why he's so good, man. He is the Messi of Counter-Strike.
Mate, Messi is too high up. You got to support the underdog. Cypher's out here in a Tesco bag, like he's the one. What else happened this week in CS? Oh, Nafany, former Cloud9 IGL, until all the moves. He's got this new lineup with Bet Boom, which, love a bit of betting, don't we? I mean, CS is mental. Which is like some mad Russian lineup now. It's got Nafany, Chiron, Siren, and also Zorti, mate, who was at Forza, who played quite well. So see how that team works out. That actually feels like quite a good team to me.
Yeah. It
feels like a top 15. I mean, it's not a bad team. Let's see what happens to that. And obviously we need more Russian teams. Why wouldn't we want more Russian teams? Sorry, what were you going to ask me?
Furia.
Well, I didn't make it to Cologne, did they? They were one of the teams that I thought would and didn't qualify, so...
Yeah, what's going on?
Disappointing.
Are they better?
Yeah, they're definitely better. But again, it's too early. It's too early to know any of this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they lost to... they beat Greyhound, just. Then they lost to Mont and the Mongols. The Mongols were looking good, like... They were technically pretty sound.
Everyone was hyping up the Mongols. I don't know why. They got found out. They're going to continue to get found out. They're not good. People are saying they should move. Like, they should move to closer to Europe and all this. It's like, mate, they pushed her up to one good series, and then they lost the Gamer Legion. Like, what are we doing here? What's the hype? No hype.
So, go on.
No, nothing to say.
We touched on the average age player before. So, Mount's the average age 19.8, which is pretty insane considering how well they're doing. Do you think they're going to continue to do well, or do you think they'll beat Astralis tomorrow?
Not sure. After.
Did I tell you what the oldest team was?
No, who is it?
Go on, you can have a guess. I feel like I might have mentioned it.
What, the oldest roster?
Yeah, in Cologne.
G2 or FaZe?
Fnatic.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, well fucking Crims probably puts it to about 40.
Their average age is 27.4.
And how old's Crims? 29.
29, yeah.
Still
Who's the oldest player?
Still younger
how
than
old's
you and
Carrigan?
me. Carrigan's similar or 30, isn't he?
Yeah.
I love how
Do
they're
you think
still younger than us. Oh, 33. Carrigan's 33, bro.
he might
Boy,
retire
oi,
when CS2 comes
that
out?
guy's the GOAT. It is mental how he's not considered the GOAT when you think about it.
No, he's not. No, he's not. It's mental that you think he could be the GOAT when you think about it.
He's
How
won.
your brain works.
He's won one major, one Grand Slam, and he's 33, man. He's still out here in a top 3 team, carrying them to victory as well. Some of these results recently.
Getting fucking 16 forward by G2.
Mate, I don't know. So while
And
we're on the
hopefully-
subject of Cypher, by the way, interestingly, there was just a post. There's a post recently on HLTV saying, "Is it true that TSM isn't happening and he's left into the breach for them, and now he's left teamless and there is no team?" So that'd be interesting to see. That's true. I imagine.
It's so weird that you would leave them without anything else guaranteed.
Without being, yeah, I don't know. Be interesting to see like the top trans. That's one thing I do want to look at, which we can talk about off like the biggest transfers. I'd love to look into the biggest transfers and who cost the most money and why. See if there are flops and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of. I don't think it's super
Info.
clear like how much teams are spending. I know Mouse don't like spending a lot of money, which kind of makes sense when they've got all the
And Ents don't.
the players from their academy. Who is spending a lot of money? Apparently, Fnatic don't like spending much money either.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No. All right. Well, look. Have we got anything else we need to touch on this week, or do you think we should wrap this up? So, in terms of some games that are coming up, we've got FaZe Navi tomorrow. That's definitely the highlight for tomorrow, as well as Mouse and Australia. Tomorrow's actually a good day for some games, man. Really good games. And then the winners of those will play each other. So that could be really good. So, FaZe, Mouse, maybe. Other than that, see how Cologne rides out. It's the final Sunday, so next time we have the podcast, we'll be talking about the winners and who. Then I think we'll have a real clear picture on who's done well, and we'll see whether our predictions are correct. Let's say it again. Diz is saying Heroic and G2 are the potential 2 winners, and you're saying Ents and Vitality.
Yeah. Yep. No news on CS2 either.
No.
We're still fingers crossed for the end of August. I'm hoping before the end. I'm hoping like mid to late August. Could be after Cologne.
It'd be good if it was.
Unlikely.
It's all gone a bit quiet on that front, but
Yeah, they'll probably do a new release some new maps soon, maybe.
hopefully they fucking stop updating it and just sort it out and let us in.
Yeah. Would you rather they just released it, or do you want it out when it's ready?
No, I just want it out now. Couldn't give a shit. Let me play it. Let me moan about it on here. It's not going to be perfect anyway for us casuals, man. We're not going to know what's going on, are we? I couldn't care if Muncie doesn't like the movement. Let me play it.
Or Simple.
Definitely
Do you
not.
see Simple's tweet?
Mm-mm.
His first gamer tag or nickname was Harry Potter. I feel like
Simples.
not simple. Pimp.
Oh, pimp. I was like, hang on. Simple doesn't look anything like Harry Potter. That should
Yeah,
be. That should have been my one.
yeah, it should have been really.
Mine.
So he stole your Harry Potter one, and Hobbit stole your other one.
Yeah, Hobbit would have been a good one for me. To be fair, pimp would have been a good one for me as well. Um, my actual full
Not anymore.
game.
You would have had to change it when you got married.
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah. Now it's just depressed.
Simp.
Depression.
Did you have any funny
No,
nicknames?
my full name before it was Dizzy because I loved Dizzy Rascal when I was a kid, and then I started gaming when I was 13, 14. So it was spelt Dizzy as well, Dizzee, like Dizzy Rascal, but then it got shortened to Diz as I got older and realised that that is not very cool. What was yours?
Oh, I just used to change mine all the time. When I first made my Counter-Strike account, it was something like because no, sorry, I made one called CZ Viper,
Oh,
but I never actually used that
mate,
name.
that's venomous.
Yeah. Then I had the Shabdink for ages. And then I used to change it
What does
all the
Shabdink
time.
mean?
I have no idea.
You don't know
I
what
have no
Shabdink
idea.
means?
No, I just made it up. I have no idea why I did that. Just
Right.
weird. I used to change my gamer tag all the time though.
No,
But I was thinking
I
about
needed
this.
I
I
needed
think
to know whether
about
people could find me. I wanted everyone to know.
who's the guy? George Snorts. He had to change his name
Right.
to just George, so he got rid of the Snorts. I think some of the sponsors maybe told him to get rid of it, but
Oh my god.
I do think it's a bit like when you make an email address when you're a kid
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you still got it as an adult, like especially with like Pimp. That's a bit embarrassing.
Well, there used to be a guy called Will. Will in my school, and he's Hotmail. And like the teacher was like, "Oh, have you got emails or whatever?" I don't know why he got into emails, and he's like, "Yes, there's only one Willie at hotmail.com." We don't just giving his email out.
That's even better than I thought.
I feel like I'm gonna email it. No, see if it's still going.
So, someone we know very well, his email address was Gay Eskimo. You can probably guess who it is.
Shut up. Why is it gay Eskimo?
Gay Eskimo, and then some numbers. I can't remember what it was. I don't know. You'll have to ask him.
My wife.
Your wife?
My wife is called Helen, and her one was Juicy Helen or something at hotmail.com.
She's probably like 13 when she made it as well.
That, yeah. Juicy. Anyway, right, we've got sidetracked, but yeah. All right, so let's wrap this up. Let's watch the rest of Cologne. 2 wins, and we can see if our predictions are right. GG's, I guess, right? Nothing else to say.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Gamer Legion and Fnatic are on the third map because everyone's on the edge of the seat. Everyone will know the results by the time they see this anyway, but yeah, let's go Fnatic.
Let's go Gamer Legion. All right then.
GG's.
GG's.